We are 80 unusual money-making methods deep in this series. We've had methods make us millions, make us thousands, and lose us some as well. Quite the variety to say the least. Today, we're doing something special. For the first time, we'll be seeing how the best methods we've ever tested hold up to this day. Do they really still make us the millions that they used to? I really hope so, because I could use some GP for this Gillenor game Season 3 prize pool. Alongside these older methods, I'll be showing you 2 brand new methods that make us great money. One of them might even challenge for that #1 spot. Let's make some money. Have you guys ever wanted to breed characters and create awesome new ones in game? Well, you can. On Bloodline Heroes of Lithas. It's a card-based fantasy RPG on mobile where new legends are born. Literally. You can create new, unique custom champions by marrying different bloodlines until you find a combination of 5 powerful abilities out of dozens of different traits that suits your playstyle. You can also collect champions, build kingdoms, and so much more. The possibilities are endless. With beautiful 3D realistic graphics and easy controls, you can enjoy this game for free on Android and iOS. Using my link or QR code to log in, you can get the clan of Karg, a Dragonborn clan, for free. The Lycanis clan, a must-try lineage of werewolves, is pretty badass as well. You've got champions, and you've also got companions. If you want, you can grab the Fulgur, Demigod's companions, which you can freely change the gender of, and if you continue to level up, you can get more companions for free. Not too shabby. Don't forget, the stronger the relationship, the better. Having a higher companion intimacy gets you more powerful offspring. You can merge the bloodlines of, let's say, a half Dragonborn and half Demigod to create a hybrid heir. You can keep developing your family tree until you inherit the best traits from both families. And guess what? You can also get the Dragonborn and Demigod heir for free. Here's more good news. If you use the QR code on screen or check my link in the description and use my gift code, you can get 1 champion token, 100,000 gold, and 100 diamonds for free. What are you waiting for? Of the 80 methods I've tested on this series, one stands above the rest: efficient Gnome Restaurant. This method made us 2.4 million GP an hour and was surprisingly fairly relaxing. After maxing out your gnome reward token, you have the ability to choose which gnomes you want to deliver to around Gillenor. There are 20 gnomes we can choose from for hard deliveries, but you are only focusing on 6 of them: Brambickle, Captain Derkin, Captain Ninto, Penwee, Professor Manglethorpe, and Wingstone. These are the only 6 gnomes that give us the 2 main items we're hunting for: the gnome scarf and the grand seed pods. If we do this efficiently, we're able to knock out anywhere from 20 to 25 orders per hour. Super efficient would be closer to 30, but I do this a bit more relaxed since that's what I prefer. The last time I did this, I got 2 gnome scarves and 10 grand seed pods in 2 hours, totaling 4.8 million GP. So, how did it go this time? I changed a couple things up. Instead of running to the swamp in the Gnome Stronghold for the Toad Legs and King Worms, I just bought 50 of each off the Grand Exchange and kept them in my bank. This saved me a bit of time and sped up the time it took me to complete orders with these items. The downside is that it costs me a bit more money, but not too much. Now, one way to speed up this process even more is to simply buy the fully made food on the Grand Exchange. This could probably get you closer to 45 to 50 deliveries an hour, but the only problem is gnome food is damn expensive on the Grand Exchange. For example, the drink, Chocolate Saturday, costs like 10 GP to make from the stores in the gnome tree, but costs 3.6k on the Grand Exchange. It's just up to the person doing this method if they'd rather just get more orders done per hour, which would over time lead to more scarves and seed pods and most likely offset the cost of buying them from the Grand Exchange. I decided to stick with making the food myself since that's what I did for the original method. So, how did round 2 go, and is this method still viable? Absolutely. 5 minutes in, 5 grand seed pods from Wingstone. 15 minutes in, 5 more grand seed pods from Wingstone. Thank you. 50 minutes in, a gnome scarf from Captain Derkin. 1 hour and 30 minutes in, 5 more grand seed pods from Penwee. And 1 hour and 45 minutes in, a gnome scarf from Captain Ninto. This time, I got even luckier. 5 rare drops in 2 hours. I also got 2 mint cakes, which are semi-rare as well. Without the rare drops, I made about 200,000 GP. With the scarves and seed pods, 4 million. I also later found out that the mint cakes actually sell for over 100k each, even though the price check shows them at 13k. So that puts us at 4.2 million GP in 2 hours, around 2.1 million GP an hour doing efficient Gnome Restaurant. If prices were still at what they were when I initially tried this method, it would have been closer to 2.7 million GP, but hey, 2 million GP an hour is 2 million GP an hour. That is phenomenal either way for a fairly unknown, consistent method which is very hard to come by. The top method on the leaderboards absolutely still works. 1 for 1. Our second best method is turning lava scales into lava shards. When I first tested this method, it came in at a whopping 2.2 million GP an hour. If you complete the hard wilderness diaries, you have the ability to create 50% more lava shards every time you grind up a lava scale. This made the method go from okay money to insane money. Another nice thing about it is you can do it all at the Grand Exchange. All you need is a bit of starter cash. So just like last year, I bought 1,000 lava scale shards, this time for 1.226 million GP. Last time it cost me 2.4 million, so these things have gone way down in price. Hopefully it doesn't affect profit too much. We've got a pestle and mortar in the inventory, 1,000 lava scales in the bank. Let's get the spam clicking show on the road. As much as I love methods that make me a lot of money, sometimes I wonder if the ones that give me carpal tunnel will be worth it in the long run. For 2 million GP an hour, I'd say yes. 1,000 lava shards takes about 15 minutes to grind up, and I ended up with 8,968 lava scale shards. The shards currently sell for 175 GP each, so we chucked them all up and they instantly sold, and we're left with 1,569,400 GP. Subtract that from the initial 1.226 million we spent on the scales, and we profited 343,400 GP, even after the Grand Exchange tax. Multiply that bad boy number by 4, and in 1 hour, we would profit 1,373,600 GP. Not too bad. It's quite a bit less than the 2.2 million we made during the initial testing, but to have the method still be comfortably above 1 million GP an hour, I'd say this is still a very viable, unusual moneymaker. 2 for 2. Our third best method of all time is catching white rabbits. This was one of the most surprising methods we've ever done, a true unusual moneymaker, and it made us a lot of money. White rabbits, which are suspiciously not white in the slightest, can be caught at level 27 Hunter and can be found in the southern Piscatorus Hunter area near Eagles Peak. To catch these guys, you need some rabbit snares and some ferrets, which you can catch just a bit further southwest. Ferrets are wild. Now we set up our 5 rabbit traps in line with the rabbit hole, spam click on this hole with our ferret to flush out the rabbit, and boom, these guys come zooming out straight into our traps. A pretty comical training method that's unique just to these rabbits. Now you pick up the trap, get your XP and 3 items, a raw rabbit and a rabbit foot, and bones. We don't care about the bones in raw rabbit, but we do care about the rabbit foot. We can combine these rabbit feet with a ball of wool to create a strung rabbit foot. Strung rabbit feet give you a higher chance of obtaining a bird's nest with an egg or ring. If you wear it while looting bird houses, bird nest drops are slightly less likely to be empty nests and slightly more likely to contain eggs or rings. Back in May of 2021, these things were selling for 9.6 thousand GP each, an absurd amount. I made 2 million GP an hour catching these rabbits and making the strung rabbit foot necklaces. So how does this method hold up a year and some change later? I spent 30 minutes collecting rabbit feet and got 106 of them. A rabbit foot sells for 606 GP, a far cry from the 5k it sold for back in the day. I turned the other 105 into the necklaces and listed them on the Grand Exchange for, unfortunately, only 824 GP each, and I left this offer in overnight and they did all sell, which was good. Unfortunately, it was only for 85.6k. So in total, an hour of doing this with current prices would make you around 170,000 GP an hour. Not exactly close to the 2 million we made during the initial testing of this. Unfortunately, this method is not what it used to be, but not everything can be a winner. 2 for 3. Number 4 on the greatest unusual money-making leaderboards is Cosmic Runes. This method involved hopping onto my Iron Man account and hopping shopping the Prif Dinnis Rune Shop. One rune here can make you a lot of money. The Cosmic Rune, as you guys probably guessed. You can buy them for 50 GP each from the shop and sell them for 150 on the Grand Exchange. Back when I tested this in February, they were selling for 111, with Cosmic Runes being 40 GP more per rune than they are now. there's a good chance we're going to be making even more GP doing it this time. Now, the last time I did this, I didn't do something that could have gotten me way more cosmic runes per hour, and that was just shift-click buying the cosmic runes. I was just right-click buying on the runes and buying 50 at a time, when what I should have been doing is holding the shift button on my keyboard and spam left-clicking. This instantly buys 50 at a time and lets me buy out the shop in a second versus the 2 or 3 seconds it took me doing it the other way. Ironmen and main accounts have different stocks in this store, and since an Ironman with access to Pravdinis is more uncommon than a main account with access to here, I decided to use my Ironman since I figured there'd be more cosmic runes in stock. With all of this in mind, I got to work. I started with 3.5 million GP. In the first 30 minutes of doing this, every single world had 250 cosmic runes in stock, the max amount, and I was efficiently buying 1,750 cosmic runes per minute. At the 30-minute mark, I already had over 35,000 cosmic runes, 10,000 more than I got over the course of an entire hour doing this the first time I tried this. After 30 minutes, however, I had hopped through every single world, and stocks in the shop were now 100 instead of the 250 before, so I was buying everything so quickly that the shops didn't have time to restock fast enough. Still, 100 runes is profit, so I pushed on. After the hour was over, I bought 49,131 cosmic runes for 2,788,567 GP. Because of the shift-click buying method and more being in stock this time around, I had collected 23,000 more runes than last time, and with cosmic runes being 40 GP more expensive, I knew I was in for the money. I drop traded the runes over to my main and sold all of the cosmic runes for, get this, 7.173 million GP. Guys, we spent 2.7 million buying the runes from the shop, which means in 1 hour, we profited 4,335,428 GP. 4.3 million. I double checked this number a bunch of times thinking I messed up the math somewhere, but I can confidently say that we made 4.3 million in 1 hour doing this method. As long as cosmic runes don't fall to around 80 GP each, this method continues to be one of the best in the entire game. It does have some high requirements, but hey, that's just the benefit of having a late game account. Doing this method the right way this time around feels good. It feels 4.3 mil good. 3 for 4. Our fifth most profitable method of all time is another hop and shop method, buying rock thrown hammers from any Slayer master in the game. Rock throwing hammers can be used to finish off gargoyles without needing to be in melee distance, and with gargoyles being a fairly popular monster to kill, these things sell pretty frequently on the Grand Exchange, around 53,000 a day. They trade consistently, which is important when finding a good moneymaker. When I initially tested the method, I bought 42,830 hammers from Steve and made 1.3 million GP in 1 hour. However, once again, I have learned the ways of efficiency and found a way to buy more of these per hour, simply switching our click options to be left click when trading Steve and shift click buying those thrown hammers. Because of this, I was able to buy significantly more hammers. The method itself, very simple, hop and shop. You're able to buy 200 hammers per world until it doesn't become profitable to buy them anymore, so buy 200 and hop. Nice and quick. After 30 minutes, I bought 28,150 throwing hammers, chucked them on the Grand Exchange for 235 GP each, and I had to wait. A lot of methods end up with me needing to wait overnight for things to sell, and for the most part they do. The throwing hammers did as well. All of them sold for 6,558,950 GP. Take away the 5,676,082 GP I spent to buy them, and after 30 minutes of hop and shopping these things, I made 882,868 GP. But hey, not too bad. A full hour of this would have profited me around 1.7 million, which is actually 400k more GP an hour than when I initially tested this. Not too bad, but we do have to take into account that these things sell overnight, and a full hour of doing this would have me selling around 56,000 throwing hammers, which is their daily limit. But I am confident that they would sell over time, so this method definitely holds up. Just make sure that the GE price is above around 220 GP, and you're definitely in the money. 4 for 5. 4 of the 5 top methods we've ever tested still hold up to this day. As with most methods I test in these videos, there's always going to be a drop in price after the release of a video, but for the most part, the methods do recover. To be honest with you, I was really only expecting the Gnome Restaurant to still be good, so to see the lava shards and rock throwing hammers be solid and the cosmic runes method be absurdly insanely amazing makes me very happy. As promised, I've got a couple more methods that have a great chance at cracking our top 5 spots, so here's the first one. Take a look at these two graphs. You'll notice a massive price increase over the past 2 months and a recent huge spike in demand. This item's increase can mainly be attributed to one man. Bodhi. Ever since Bodhi's collection log series began, other players became interested in filling their collection log slots as well. The collection log is something in the game that tracks your progress in collecting lots of unique drops, untradables, and more. One of the things it tracks is the loot you get from clue scrolls, so those people who are trying to fill in these slots will buy items that get them clues quicker. In this case, Eclectic Implants. Another reason for their rise in price is due to the price of Ranger boots, which currently sit at 45 million GP, the highest price they've ever been at. I don't know why, I'm assuming the Raids 3 release is a part of it, but for some reason these things are absurdly high. If you know why, let me know below. These two facts have made Eclectics go from 3,500 GP to above 7,000 in the space of a few months. Knowing all of this, it only makes sense that we make some money. I'll once again be hopping on Bond Waster, my Iron Man account, since it has 99 Hunter, plenty of Impling Jars, and access to a spell that some of you may have never even heard of that's going to help us. Eclectic Implings have static spawns in Puro, so whenever you catch one, another one will spawn in the exact same spot every time. With High Hunter, a magic butterfly net, and an inventory of full Impling Jars, we're profiting 7,000 GP every single time we catch one. Now usually what people do is bring runes for the Entangle spell. Sometimes the Implings will immediately fly away, or you'll fail to catch one and it starts to fly away. So you cast Entangle and it traps the Impling for 15 seconds. You then painstakingly push your way through the wheat, catch the Implings, and make your way back to the spawn. But on the Arceus spellbook, there's a spell called Dark Lure. It costs 1 nature rune and 1 death rune to cast. If an Impling gets away from you, simply cast the spell on it and it essentially yanks the Impling back towards you. The Impling will now move back to you, meaning you can easily catch it and never have to worry about pushing through some wheat again. It's a pretty neat little spell and will speed up the amount of Implings you catch. Catching 24 Implings, banking, and running back to Puro takes about 4 minutes, so we can catch around 360 of these per hour. As long as you find an empty world, I used the 2000 total level world and had no issues, but I have heard that other non-restricted worlds have issues with bots and other players trying to do this as well. Towards the end of the hour, I actually managed to catch a Dragon Impling as well, and it was mainly because of the Dark Lure spell, which prevented another player from getting it, so that was a nice 450k boost to my total. After 1 hour, I had caught 359 Eclectic Implings and 1 Dragon Impling. I took them both on the Grand Exchange and sold the Eclectics for 2.536 million GP and the Dragon for 450k. So in total, 2,974,746 GP from selling the Implings. Subtract 572k, which was the cost of the Impling Jars, 18k for the runes I used, and we are left with a total profit from this past hour of 2,384,346 GP. However, let's be honest. I'm not going to catch a Dragon Impling every hour, so let's pretend that instead I caught 360 Eclectics. That would have made me 2.52 million. Subtract the Impling Jar and rune cost, and we are left with a total profit of 1.932 million GP an hour catching Eclectic Implings in Puro. These things sell like hotcakes, and if there was ever a time for any of you who are struggling to make money to make some nice GP, it's with this method. Currently around 2 million GP an hour catching Eclectics. Thank you, collection loggers. If you want to profit off the current Impling madness, there's a simpler method that could still make you decent profit per hour, and that's casting the Hunter Kit spell on the Lunar Spellbook. With 71 magic, an Earth Staff, and 2 Astral runes, you receive a kit that contains 8 items in total. A Noose Wand, Butterfly Net, Bird Snare, Rabbit Snare, Teasing Stick, Unlit Torch, Box Trap, and the most expensive item, an Impling Jar, which alongside most Implings have had a huge rise in price. It costs 272 GP to cast the spell, and you get 1,650 GP from the Hunter Kit. So per cast, you're profiting 1,378 GP. So if we set up our bank and inventory to be able to cast the spell, open the kit, bank, and repeat quickly, we can make about 12 Hunter Kits per minute, around 760 an hour. This is a fairly click-intensive method though, so be prepared to stretch out those wrists. After 1 hour, I had 758 of each item. I chucked them on the Grand Exchange and was able to sell only 2 of the items. Half of my box traps and all of the Impling Jars, which is the only item we really care about. The other things didn't even sell for 1 GP, so so I just gave them to some guy I found at the Grand Exchange. The Impling jars made us 1,157,000 GP. The Astral runes cost us 215k, so we subtract that from the 1.1 million, and we are left with a final pure profit total of 943,677 GP. Just under 1 million GP an hour, but for a bank standing method with a fairly chill requirement, you can't complain. This method slides into the top 15 on the unusual money-making leaderboards. So, I'd say today went pretty well. 4 of the top 5 methods on the leaderboard still ended up being very profitable, and we added 2 more Gillinar GP generating methods to the list as well. 6 of the 7 methods today will make you over 1 million GP an hour. We've come a long way on this series, and that's thanks to all of you guys for sending all these methods into me so I can try them out. If anything, this just shows that most methods I do show off in these videos will still make you profit. It just takes a little bit of time before they recover. As usual, thank you to everyone who submitted an unusual money maker. If you guys have a method you want me to try out, make sure to leave it in the comments below or join my Discord and shoot me a DM on there. discord.gg/SoupRS. Link is also in the description. Thank you all again for watching, and make sure to check out the last video as well as the previous unusual money making video if you missed that one. It should pop up on your screen right now.